This is the mighty Murray, a true icon of Australia, and for the first 100 years or so of white settlement, Nick, she provided a super highway between communities stretched all the way along its length.
On its banks grows the trees that built the early infrastructure, all the jetties, all the bridges and railways, and still today there is a vibrant industry centred around the growing, the harvesting and the milling of the river red gum.
It's no exaggeration to say that colonial Australia was built on the back of the river red gum. The hard, heavy timber was perfect for fences, wharves and railway sleepers. The tree grows abundantly along many of Australia's river systems, but is most often associated with the Murray River and the floodplains of northern Victoria.
Here at Kundruk, on the banks of the Murray, one of Vic Forests' customers, the Arbuthnot Mill, has been sawing river red gum for 130 years.
Kundruk is a special place. It's been renowned for producing red gum timber, whether it was sleeper cutters or the sawmills. And over the years, of course, there's been forest closures due not to forest management principles, but mainly to create national parks. And the red gum industry's continued on, and Arbuthnot's one of the last of the red gum sawmills along the river.
In more modern times, red gum has found its place as one of our most highly sought specialty timbers. As the name suggests, red gum is rich in colour and is the perfect timber for that unique hardwood floor or designer furniture piece.
For almost 130 years now, this mill has milled only red gum, Paul. What is it about red gum that brings people here? What is it that they love about it?
Well, red gum is an iconic timber. It only grows up on the floodplain in northern Victoria and thereabouts, and they love the colour, they like to feel it, they love to touch it. It's got beautiful grains and a range of natural feature in it, and they just generally like it.
It is beautiful, and it does make you want to just walk up and touch it. This would make a very nice bar or a mantelpiece in my house, mate.
There's no denying the appeal of red gum, from the look, smell and feel of the sawn timber to the connection with the Murray River and our colonial past. Red gum is part of the fabric of Australia, and it seems more and more people are discovering that for themselves.
This mill has one very unique feature, and that is what we're standing on here. It's a walkway, but it's open to the public. People can come in here, and they do, to watch the river red gum being milled up, and that's because here on the Murray River, you know, red gum is a huge part of the story.
You could just imagine a paddle steamer pulling up and taking off a load of railway sleepers or bits of a bridge to build. The other interesting thing here is that every bit of your red gum log is used. There's firewood, there's sawdust, there's garden mulch. Everything is used.
Rightio, that's 87 centimetres. Okay, good size.
Forestry here is different. In keeping with the community nature of the red gum milling industry, the harvesting process is also smaller in scale and selective in nature. Vic Forests supplies around 80 special species customers in Western Victoria, each filling a niche in the local timber market.
Most of our operations in Western Victoria are small scale, low intensity. They're about selection harvesting and thinning. Most of our customers are taking only between 100 cubic metres and perhaps 1,000 cubic metres. Arbuthnot's here is probably a bit bigger, but generally it's small scale.
The forests are managed on a long-term rotation of thinning and selective harvesting. It's a process which seems to allow for a perpetual supply of red gum while also retaining trees as habitat for local fauna.
So, Rody, when you're doing your planning preparations for a harvest on a coop like this, how do you decide, you know, what stays and what goes?
So I guess we're targeting large solid red gums up to 1 metre in diameter. Anything over 1 metre we keep for habitat. We also get 2 trees per hectare to grow into habitat trees as well.
Something like that, for example?
Well, certainly over 1 metre and definitely a habitat tree.
Selective harvesting here in northwestern Victoria is quite labour intensive because Vic Forest planters have to go through every coop with a fine-tooth comb and literally mark every saw log that comes out. In this case, yellow paint means the tree's going to be retained, pink means it's ready for harvest.
Harvesting here has been actually going on this coop for more than 5 years due to flood events and various weather factors. And you don't have to look very far here to find evidence of harvest operations that stretch back a lot longer than that. In this case, maybe 100 years or so. Other interesting point about this kind of harvesting, if you raise your eyes just a little bit and look into the forest, it's very difficult to tell that anyone's been here at all.
Well, we come back approximately every 25 years and harvest the next group of trees that have grown into a size class that we can then take. So we're retaining the bigger, older trees and leaving smaller trees for future.
One of the strengths of red gum is its regenerative powers. Unlike many eucalypt species which require fire for the process of renewal, the red gum is highly dependent on water.
Rhodey, these river red gums are quite unique in the way they regenerate compared to other species harvested in Victoria, aren't they?
Yeah, certainly. They'll regrow from the stump, that's called coppice.
Okay.
But if we have a big flood, they'll regenerate en masse as seedlings as well.
Okay, so they love a flood. Do we get flood events here on the banks of the Murray River?
Yeah, certainly we do. Yep, we get natural floods, and also we've got the infrastructure so that we can put water into the forest as well.
So we can actually control a flood and control how much water is lying around?
That's right, we've got the infrastructure to put water in deliberately.
Along much of the length of the Murray, land managers are able to create artificial flood events which allow the trees to regenerate, survive and thrive through even the driest of times. And from the 130-year history, the Arbuthnot sawmill shows there's no reason why we can't continue to rely on a sustainable supply of red gum into the future.
Well, it certainly is renewable, and within probably 5 miles of the sawmill, we've harvested an area 5 times in the history of the mill. And once we've completed the harvest and the heads are cleaned up, the public would hardly know we've been there because there's still a multi-age forest left, and it's very minimal harvesting practice that we do, and the forest is in good shape as a result of that. It's just a long-term industry. The forestry have managed the red gum forest extremely well. And it produces prosperity and employment in this area, and there's no reason why it can't continue for perpetuity.
River red gum is common along many of Australia's waterways, but is synonymous with the Murray. It's heavy, slow, rotting timber built much of our early infrastructure, including wharves, fences and railways. Today, red gum is highly sought as a hardwood flooring and furniture special species timber.
The red gum industry form part of Vic Forests' community forestry program, which supplies 80 small-scale forest product businesses in Western Victoria. The harvest of these species is managed on a long rotation of thinning and selective harvesting aimed at delivering a sustainable resource and ongoing employment in regional areas.